Today on the bench we have a real special treat. I have Brian Chan doing a guest tie for us, and he's tying up his favorite leech pattern, and it's called the Ruby-Eyed Leech. Make sure you have these materials ready before you tie the fly. For the hook, we'll use a size 10 4x long streamer. We'll use some 8/0 black thread to tie with, some black and red Arizona semi-seal for the tail, a 1/8 inch copper cone head as the bead, a 1/8 inch silver lined maroon bead as the highlight bead, and for the body we'll use some black and red Arizona semi-seal as a dubbing brush using red wire.
Okay, the first step is I've put the hook in the vise, and before that I put on my copper cone head and the silver lined maroon glass bead. So now they're bumped up. Then I'm going to take my turbo dubbing block, and I'm going to take some small red copper wire, and that's what I'm going to use to make the dubbing brush. So just going to hook that up. I'm going to get my bag of Arizona semi-seal. You can spread it out fairly sparse. Sparser flies breed better in the water, especially when you're hanging them under an indicator. Like so. Then I take my wire, fold it over the top of the brush, and then spin her. So now we've got our wire dubbing brush. I'm just going to pick out the clumpy parts there. Okay, so next step, I'll take my black tying thread and tie it in behind the glass line bead, and then just bring it back to the bend of the hook. Then I'm going to take some of the semi-seal and form a bit of a tail, not too heavy. Tie the tail in, so there, we got a nice slender tail. Then we're going to take our wire dubbing brush that we built, tie that in at the bend of the hook as well. I'm just going to even up the hook shank with some tying thread. Now I've got the wire dubbing brush tied in at the bend of the hook. Take my hackle pliers and hook it on to the end of the wire brush. You don't want to be pulling it with your hands because you're going to end up pulling all the semi-seal out of here. And this brush is long enough to get 2 flies out of it at least. So we're just going to wind forward now. Right up to the bead. And just going to tie that down. And then the last tying step, we'll cut it off. And then we'll whip finish. Now then we have to take a Velcro brush and start working the material out. What we want this fly to be doing is pulsing in the water. So again, a slender profile. So what I like to do is I'll tie half a dozen of these guys up to this stage, and then I'll warm up in a little 1 cup Pyrex dish in the microwave, get the water just about boiling, and then you drop all the flies into the hot water, and the hot water will take the kink out of the material. So then you put them back in the vise and then comb them out again, and it'll lay flat. But when the fly's in the water, it'll still pulse, but it won't get kinky again. This is my go-to leech pattern. If I only had one to use, this would be it. Tied on with a non-slip loop knot under an indicator, it's a deadly combination.
To watch all our latest Sport Fishing on the Fly episodes and to order Sport Fishing on the Fly merchandise, head to www.sfotf.ca. And if you would like to book an adventure like this one shown, head to ontheflyadventures.ca and book yourself the trip of a lifetime.